Chapter 1. You are listening at FameTV.info. Jidao Continent, Tiannan Prefecture, 100,000 Monster Mountain. Outside a dark cave without 5 fingers, the sound of killing is deafening. The two families fight with their lives here, but seeing one body fall to the ground, it has formed a unilateral repression and a river of blood. Shen Yi, a little waste, was stabbed by me and 1/T live long. This boy has really got the demon pearl and wants to marry Miss Shui. In that case, he can /T get out of the 100,000 Monster Mountain alive. I/LL solve all the guards of the Shen family and go in to confirm whether Shen Yi is dead or not. Inside the cave, the dripping sound of water in the humid environment was completely drowned by the shouting and killing sound outside the cave. The young corpse that originally seemed to be dying or even dead was just a desolate one. However, at this time, he suddenly got up like a soul. Wunyan Buddha, I used to respect you as my teacher. You keep saying that Shen Yi is an evil monk against the world. Now use 99/Great Holy Buddha to surround and kill me. Even if you use the holy tools of the evil ancestor, you can also be called the Buddha. Who is more like a demon monk? The boy roared, his 5 fingers clutching the ground, his eyes mixed with towering anger, and his momentum roared wildly. Well. Shen Yi/'s eyes were shining like pearls in the night. He looked around and was surprised. Haven/T I fallen. His name is Shen Yi, among the heavens, it is called Jiuxiao War God by all sentient beings. It is the reincarnation of the pure world Tathagata and the evil monk against the world. Yes, he is a demon monk that he practiced Buddhism and Taoism and broke the law of killing. He killed hundreds of thousands of demons one night and piled corpses into a mountain. He broke the lust ring and fell in love with his nun and younger martial sister who would become a bodhisattva. He is also a wine and meat demon monk. He once talked with the 10 supreme monkey king's son Dasheng, tasted the most luxurious wine in the heavens, slaughtered the Ao dragon king of Shihai and ate the fresh meat of the divine dragon. However, he is also the most outstanding genius of Buddhism. Buddhism has a long history, unprecedented and future. In 30 years, he became the Buddha/S relic, in 100 years, he became the great Saint Buddha, in 200 years, he became the Buddha lotus of 9 robberies, and in 300 years, he passed 7 robberies. He was on an equal footing with the supreme, mindless Buddha of the heavens. He was known as one of the 3 pure Buddha in the history of Buddhism. He is called a demon monk, but he sticks to his inner way. To become a Buddha, you should get rid of 7 emotions and 6 desires and abandon your family. For what? If you are heartless, how can you help all living beings and save people from suffering? The Buddha/S way of mindless Buddha is to let all living things imitate him and be selfish, while his Buddha/S way is contrary and takes the way of integrating all living things. The Buddha is afraid of 7 emotions and 6 desires like a tiger. He wants to break through and reverse this path. Instead, he enters the holy land of Buddhism and understands the supreme Buddhist land. He has become one of the 10 most powerful people in the world of heaven. Seeing that he was a threat, Jingshi Buddha regarded him as a thorn in the flesh. He first named him a demon monk, and then set up a snare to kill him. He even didn't /T hesitate to use the holy weapons of the demon ancestor. He killed 72 Buddhas in a row, but finally he didn't /T expect that the magic ancestor /S holy weapon was secretly attacked by Wunyan Buddha. He was terrified on the spot. He thought he had been completely killed, but he didn't /T expect evil monk against the world. Shen Yi is evil monk against the world. What about against the world? If I am still alive, I /LL tremble in the sky. Buddha Jingshi, you plotting against me. You afraid of me. I /LL kill you again and take your head. Shen Yi/S eyes were red with blood, and he drank fiercely with a murderous voice, but he suddenly felt that his head was slightly heavy, and the tearing pain poured into his mind. If you get the demon pearl, I Shui Shao Chai will marry you. Only after obtaining the demon pearl can you participate in the adult gift and obtain the marrow washing pill. A memory burst into his mind like a tear. Shen Yifang knew that he had been reborn into a family teenager in a small country on the mainland of Jidao. The teenager had the same name and surname as him and was also Shen Yi. But fate is extremely miserable. Young people are born with waste materials, and it is difficult to cultivate martial arts. At the age of 16, they still /T summoned the law and opened the spirit, but this boy had another engagement with the daughter of the first Muyun sect leader inside and outside the 100,000 Monster Mountain. He became the object of envy of all geniuses and was bullied and insulted. The daughter of Muyun sect leader promised to marry him as long as she got the demon pearl. Shen Fu also made an agreement. As long as he obtained the demon pearl, he promised to let him participate in the adult ceremony and give him a marrow washing pill to change his fate. This son was innocent. He really thought he had a chance, so he rashly took many guards into the Monster Mountain, and really let him fight to get the demon pearl. However, what if he got the demon pearl? The demon pearl is the treasure that everyone spies on. When he got it, he had been forcibly forced into the cave by Li/S house, the enemy of Shen/S house. There is no way to heaven and no way to earth. Ah! Shen Yi hears the sound and feels the fighting outside. Protect Shen Yi. Fight with them. We must let little Lord Shen Yi live. Little Lord Shen Yi has obtained the demon pearl. As long as he lives, there will be hope in our East Mansion. The guards he brought fought hard one by one, but they died miserably to protect him. Now that you have been reborn, you will never be humiliated again. Don/T worry. Shen Yi gently brushed his sleeve. However, his deep resentment was still in the air. Shen Yi frowned gently. Do you want me to kill them? Leave none. Okay. We will help you. They should be killed. The resentment subsided a little. Shen Yi took a cavity of anger, observed his body and whispered, I didn't/T expect that I was reborn this time with this /10,000 Tao without beginning body /. Now it will be troublesome. I can /T avoid ups and downs all the way. 10,000 ways have no beginning, which is only of great benefit to the cultivation of Buddhist skills, but the disadvantages are also obvious. That is, if you have this constitution, you will inevitably be concerned by others. If a woman cultivates with him, she is bound to greatly increase her skill. If a female goblin sucks his yang, she will also prolong her life and contribute to thousands of years of life. Those male demons and ghosts will swallow a bite of his flesh. No matter how troublesome the cultivation bottleneck is, it will come naturally. In his previous life, he had been practicing all the way. I /T know how many strong women had double cultivation requirements. Some were gorgeous and refined, some were fresh and lovely, and some were old and vicissitudes of life. Had it not been for his firm will, he would have fallen. I /T know how many times I /V been chased and killed, and I /LL die. Because of this, he is called the reincarnation of Jingshi Tathagata Buddha, because Jingshi Tathagata Buddha is the founder of Buddhism and the first Jingshi Buddha, but it has been eclipsed for countless years. Shen Yi knows that he is him, not anyone /S reincarnation. With this constitution, you can /T help being in trouble. Shen Yi sighed, but soon his eyes flashed cold. This physical qualification is really poor. It /S not strange that I can /T call the Dharma and open the spirit. However, I practice the Reincarnation Vajra Sutra, refine the Buddha /S heart, and practice Buddhism and Taoism. What if my talent is worse? I was originally demonstrating Taoism with the Supreme Buddha /S heart, and all ancient talents are invincible. The environment of the 100,000 Monster Mountain is good. It /S barely enough to enlighten me. He sat down cross-legged and whispered the Buddhist mantra on his mouth. The originally dark space unexpectedly twinkled with bright golden light, illuminating the dim and dull damp cave. The golden light comes from Shen Yi /S whole body. At first sight, the broken injury of his body recovers at a speed visible to the naked eye. Bodhi was born on the bank of the netherworld, but there was no ferry between them. He wasted his time. He thought of the fierce ghost and the Buddha for a year. Shani whispered softly, just for a moment the originally magnificent and amazing aura of heaven and earth was absorbed into the body in an instant. The bats in the house were like frightened birds, and they retreated one after another. At first it was just a small cave, then, it spread to the outside of the mountain, and then to a radius of 1 kilometer, 10 kilometers, so that the first mountain of the whole 100,000 monster mountain. The spirit of heaven and earth within 100 kilometers was empty and thin, and was completely inhaled into Shani_S body. What_S going on? The martial arts practitioners of all families who have practiced in the 100,000 monster mountain are all stunned. They don't know what happened. The originally comfortable monster was uneasy, rampant, bumping and rushing, as if it sensed the sudden arrival of an unshakable strong man. On weekdays, these monsters will be like this only when disaster robbery is born. Their smell is very sensitive. What_S going on today? There is no trend of disaster robbery. A group of experienced young martial artists looked dignified and smelled an unusual smell. Forget it. It_S not a good sign. Let_S withdraw first. In case of disaster, it_S too late to evacuate again. Turn around, Shani suddenly opens his eyes. The golden light suddenly appears, and the scriptures are dense and integrated into his body. Samsara Vajra Sutra, become. His martial arts level soared rapidly, and calling Fa Kaling has been successful. Kalingjing is the first priority, second, third, until it soared to the 6th level of Kalingjing, it was barely stopped. Sloppy. Shani whispered to himself. Although the Reincarnation Vajra Sutra has no requirements for talent, it has extremely high requirements for the environment of heaven and earth. It is very normal to empty out the aura of heaven and earth in practice. The aura of this 100,000 monster mountain is still thin, which can only make him rise to the 6th level of Kaling realm all the way. Shani gently vomited his turbid breath and got up slowly. Boom! There was a violent vibration sound and huge stones were flying. The armor of the 3 Shan family guards had been broken. They were black and blue and fell into the cave feebly, the corners of their mouths overflowed with blood, and they were at a dead end. Their eyes were filled with tears. Young lord! Run away! It_S only because their subordinates are incompetent and can _T protect the young lord. Young lord, you have to live. As long as you live, our hope in the East House is still there. East Mansion. Your Shan family _S East Mansion is an empty shell and should have died long ago. Today, young master will complete your East Mansion and give you a good time. A 16-year-old boy with white and tender skin led many guards to break in and sneered out. He glanced at Shani. Shout, little trash, you can stand still after being stabbed by me. Is your life not small? Sure enough, the poorer your life is, the more difficult it is to die, but I stabbed you more than 10 times. I think you should die. Just because of you, you still want to marry Shui Xiaochai. Who gives you the courage? Shani didn't _T answer. He could feel the extreme anger from the residual soul of the original body that he gently unfolded the Samsara Vajra Sutra and comforted the resentment. Don't _T worry, they all have to die. What are you talking about? Li _S white tender youth angrily scolded. Shani turned his eyes, and then looked like an ant and said, I said, today, you all have to die. A group of guards look at Shani and despair. Shani has no way to heaven and no way to earth. There is no way to escape, but what stupid words do you say at this time? Is it insanity? In other words, the death of insanity is always much better than normal death. Hearing Shani _S words, Li Zongyun was stunned at first, and then laughed loudly, as if he had heard the best joke in the world. He held his stomach and said, "Listen to what he said. We all have to die today." A group of guards of Li/S house were also laughing. Li Zongyan covered his ears with his hand, leaned forward and pretended to say, "Shen-Yi, what did you say? Say it again." "I didn't listen just now." Before he finished, Li Zongyan only felt that his body was completely out of control. When he appeared again, he was ruthlessly pressed in his hand by Shen-Yi. The crushing pain swept through his body in an instant. Li Zongyan screamed out and shouted vaguely. "Shen-Yi, when did you enter the 6th level of Kaling realm? You have been hiding your strength." "He is only the 4th level of strength in Kaling realm. He has no strength to bind chickens in front of Shen-Yi. Shen-Yi, spare your life, you forgive." Bang! As soon as the voice fell, Li Zongyan/S body turned into a blood mist. He was terrified on the spot. He couldn't die again. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.